All right, welcome back. I am Detective Eric Levine. I am a board member and the communications director for the National Real Time Crime Center Association. Yes, it's a mouthful. And today I am here with Sam. Is it Rabady?
Rabadi.
Rabadi. Oh, I knew I'd screw it up. Rabadi. Sam, how are you doing today? But well, first, he's from Motorola Solutions. My bad. And he's here today because we got a conference coming up for the NRTCCA, and that is why he's on here to talk. So, how are you doing today, Sam?
Doing well, Eric.
Glad to
Thank
have you,
you.
brother.
Thank you.
Dude, I got to tell you from a cop's perspective, Motorola is coming out with a lot of cool stuff. I kind of secretly hid something in the background there. Do you see that?
Oh, yeah.
That's my personal radio. It is the Motorola NTX, I think it's called. And I can
Okay.
tell you, officers are freaking loving that radio, especially the map feature. Really like it. So, Motorola, a lot of cool stuff. But we're here to highlight some different things that y'all are going to bring to the conference. So, I don't want to get in your way too much, sir, because you guys are a foundational sponsor with the NRTCCA, and this is your time to shine.
Appreciate it, Eric. Thank you.
Yes, sir. So, what do you guys got in
S-
store for us at the conference?
Yeah. So I'll tell you what, maybe if I can, I'll give you just a little bit of background about myself. And this way it kind of makes the conversation more relevant, right? So I'm speaking as a former cop, former federal agent. So I think that provides a little bit more relevance and into the products that we're going to talk about, the solutions,
And it
specifically
gives you a
Command
little bit of
Central.
street cred with the cops.
Yeah, yeah. So I spent 29 years in law enforcement, retired in 2017. I retired as the special agent in charge of ATF's Philadelphia division, covered the state of Pennsylvania. Did 25 years with ATF prior to that, a few years with the Secret Service in New York City. But started out my career as a police officer in city of Yonkers, New York. Um, what I do now, I'm on our public safety team with Motorola Solutions, and our team is comprised of prior law enforcement folks like myself. There are seven of us, and so I mentioned kind of both areas because what we do on our industry team, that's what we're called. We work very very closely with our sales counterparts in Motorola, and essentially I mentioned my background because I kind of tell folks, they're like, well, what do you do exactly? I'm like, well, we're kind of like a bridge between sales and the customer because we've sat in both worlds, right? We understand law enforcement and law enforcement operations, and then equally now with my time at Motorola, well, almost 6 years now, we have a pretty good understanding of the products and the solutions, and just as importantly, how can we deploy it in the field? What does that mean to the police officer on the street? How's it making their life easier from an operational standpoint, the workflows? But then, just as importantly, if not more important, how does it keep them safer out there in the field? So kind of like what we talked about a little bit earlier, Eric, is our command center software. Specifically, let's talk about Command Central Aware. And what Command Central Aware does, it's again that unifying system that's going to take components, different components, whether it's from radio communications, CAD, 911 calls coming in, video streams, other data streams, and essentially what it's doing is it's unifying it, it's combining it to create greater situational awareness. What does that mean? That means for the end user, whether it's a supervisor in a real time crime center, whether it's an analyst in that RTC, whether it's a PSAC, a dispatcher, analyst, or sworn officer, they're going to essentially, we're going to give you the ability to have eyes on the scene. And we're doing that eyes on the scene because, again, what you mentioned earlier with that mapping component of Command Central Aware, to be able to see where are my resources, where's my police officer, where's my police officer who may be having some trouble out on a particular call, and then to be able to see either through live streaming from the body camera, live streaming from a fixed camera, a surveillance camera that's nearby, and again for that end user, that supervisor, that analyst, that police officer who's on the other side of that screen is to be able to see in real time what is actually going on in the field. Okay.
Yeah, one of
Um,
the things
mhm.
that I don't mean to cut you off, but I
Sure.
want to for my other cops out there. I'm if you're not familiar with me at all, I am a cop in the DFW area. I can't really speak for my department because I'm not in a function with them right now, but just know I'm in the DFW area. It's not hard to figure out where I'm at, but we actually have Command Central Aware, and one of the things that we really like and enjoy about it is through our real time crime center and our camera system, the ability to track seamlessly bad guys especially when you got 60s, I'm sorry, stolen vehicles. We call them 60s where we're at. When they are, when they're hitting your LPR system, which is all integrated into your Command Central Aware and all that stuff. And it's really neat. So they hit that stuff and then you are on the map. Your real-time crime center guys are on the map. Hey, he's going eastbound on this. If we were to make an educated guess, this is where law enforcement experience really comes into play. He's probably headed for the freeway. He's going to take this main thoroughfare. So we're going to jump ahead on the cameras. And you are unilaterally keeping the bad guy safer, which sounds really weird. You're keeping your officers safer, and you also are keeping the citizens safer, which is the most important part. So these are things that you can look forward to from a cop's perspective with Command Central Aware. It's one of the things I really enjoy about it, and I'm not talking out of my butt. I've used it, we've had it, and I'm a big fan. So I'm sorry to cut you off, bud.
No, not at all, Eric. And listen, that's fantastic. It's kind of a great lead into one of the tools that's fully integrated into Aware our own Vigilant LPR, but we're also in the process of allowing for connections to a couple of different other LPR systems. It's still in the works, but the primary one is our own. What I tell folks is, look, if it's under the Motorola roof, consider it integrated into the system. But the beauty of Aware is what we kind of use the term sometimes, it's vendor agnostic. And what that means is we can allow for some third party connections. We have existing APIs into different CAD systems, different VMSs, different now possibly LPR systems, but the primary one is Vigilant LPR. And I'll tell you, look, I'm a huge fan of LPR. Um, I'm working with a particular customer in the Northeast with their real time center. And 6 weeks after going operational, I asked, hey, can you maybe send me a couple of success stories? They sent me 8 success stories specifically using LPR and its connection into Aware, actual incidents that were ongoing, jobs that were ongoing. One, for example, was a hit and run fatality of a 78-year-old that was plowed into by this knucklehead, and all they had was a red SUV with Florida tags. And within about 4 or 5 minutes, they were able to ID the car through the network of Vigilant LPR cameras coming directly into their Aware instance in their real-time center. Some additional investigative work. They were able to ID where this knucklehead was and make an apprehension. So I think, when we describe what we can do with Command Central Aware, I tell folks, you know what? Look at it as a single heads-up display, all right? Giving you that common operating picture, whether it's an LPR hit coming in, the location of my nearest marked unit. My officer is involved in a foot chase and needs help and support. Where is that officer located? There's a nearby camera. I can pull up that camera and get eyes on the scene. It's at a strip mall. I can see, hey, my officer's maybe potentially struggling with a suspect. He or she needs help. Body worn camera, live streaming into Aware. And just an assortment of features and capabilities to include, just as importantly, that integration through our event monitor of your CAD events. So those 911 calls, as they're coming and they're being updated, you could see it in real time, and not only see it in the event monitor, but also see it displayed on the map. Just very, very powerful.
Yeah, and when you get those stories, those success stories, I want people to really understand, like, especially at a large city, this is a can be a daily event. It isn't just a monthly. Smaller departments, I get it. You guys, crime isn't nearly as rampant in the smaller agencies, which is great. But for the large agencies that are wondering like just how much you're going to use it, I can tell you it is a daily occurrence where I'm at, and I've got
Yeah.
about 1 to 1.2 million people where I'm at. So it is. It's one, it pays for itself, and two, your citizens are going to love it. I just
Yeah.
recommend, and you can tell all the other officers that you deal with, I always recommend to make trophy videos to
Hmm.
show, to say, hey, this is where your tax dollars went. You went into Command Central Aware, you went into an LPR, you went into this, you went into all these different things. And here is the results of you trusting us to use the right equipment for the job.
Sure.
And one of the great options out there is Command Central Aware. So, and people know me. If I didn't think the product was good, I'd probably just keep my mouth shut. But it is a badass product. I really like Command Central Aware. I like seeing it. And I'm excited to see where it's going to go. I'm excited to see where all this stuff's going to go with AI and just technology. It seems to be not just it's like quadrupling. Like everything is exponentially just
Hmm.
growing faster. So it's really
Yeah.
cool to see.
No, I'll tell you, Eric, that's one of the, without getting into a technical dive on this, but the use of AI in many of our systems, to include, by the way, CC Aware. We have a rules engine in there that basically you're able to program what you want to see the system do. An emergency push on your radio for the emergency button. Here are the series of things that I want to occur. I want it to immediately center on the map without any intervention on my part. I want it to automatically do it so
Yeah.
that we're not wasting time. Within
Yeah.
seconds, it's
Time.
automatically centering on
Yeah.
the map. Show me where my closest unit is to provide help. Pull up live stream of the camera, pull up fixed cameras. All of these things, that's where AI comes in, and you're able to basically program the system to have it do what you want it to do, to show you what you need to see, for real time information that you can push out to the field. I think that's
Yeah.
the beauty of it. And to your point, I think of Aware from 3 years ago and where we are today. It's night and day.
It's just,
The
yeah.
It's ever evolving. So if we have a
Yep.
conversation a year from now, we'll probably
Yep.
be about a whole new set of features and
Yeah.
capabilities.
And if this doesn't get you excited about being a guy that likes to catch bad guys, like you're retired. So for you, I see how fun it could be for you because you get to still, posthumously, like you're helping catch
I
bad
live
guys. And
vicariously through you
yes,
guys,
in a
believe me.
different way. Where me, I see this and I'm just like, oh my God, it's gonna make me look like super cop and I'm not doing any of the work. So it's really fun. But we've got about 2 minutes remaining. So I want real quickly to mention again the NRTCCA conference is in New Orleans this year, September 25th through the 28th. Motorola and many other foundational sponsors are going to be there. We're going to have podcasts like this. So, Sam, what are you guys bringing to the conference?
So I think we're going to try to focus in on showing you our products and solutions that are relevant for those real-time crime centers, real-time operations center, fusion centers. What are the solutions that, again, A, is going to make your cops safer out in the field, B, to help and aid in post-incident investigation. That's the beauty of our system too. It's not just real-time. Incident has occurred. Now we're gonna show you some of the tools that we have available to help you catch the bad guys.
Within
Um,
hours.
and even shorter, believe it or
Yep.
not. So that's kind of where our technology is leading in both, especially in that real time center type of atmosphere that has even more what I'm seeing, and I'm sure you see it, Eric, more that dual function, real time as well as investigative. We're going to show you some really terrific tools that can accommodate both of those areas. Our latest and greatest with radio comms. I heard you mention that early on. We're going to show you some really cool features with our Apex radios, Apex Next radios, that also utilizes LTE to help enhance communications when you got a weak signal coming in, but also to help in locationing too. So we're going to show you all of that and how ultimately everything is fully integrated. That's our ecosystem in a nutshell, Eric. When we say it's integrated, it's integrated. If it's under our roof, everything is fully integrated, and that's the goal.
That is great to hear, sir. I'm very excited. I will be there. I'm going to be helping host several events and stuff that's going on, so you guys can see me out there. Sam's, you going to be there, Sam?
Yes, sir. Yes,
All
sir.
right. So we'll see you out there again. National Real Time Crime Center Association Conference. Yes, that's a mouthful. Will be in New Orleans, September 25th to the 28th. Motorola Solutions and many others will be out there. And Sam, thank you for your time, sir.
Appreciate the time. Thanks, Eric.
Yes,
Stay
sir.
safe.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.